here with Mel and Rea on Toasted, where we mix drinks and feelings. On today's episode, we are talking about sleep. But first, Rihanna has a very exciting drink for us.
It's so exciting. I chose it basically on the name. I wanted a vodka drink just because vodka is simple and easy. And as I scrolled, because I can't just choose something that I already know, this delightful drink came across my feed. It is called the Woo Woo drink. I don't know why, but I kind of love everything about it. So it's super basic though. It's a very easy drink. It is vodka.
Oh my god, that's gonna be fine.
Okay, I'm like, meh. I don't like shot glasses. It's just another thing to wash. Peach schnapps.
You scream always for a little bit more in line. That's fine. It's fine. I can handle it. I can take it.
Take it like a champ. And cranberry juice. And pour a little more of that too. And because I always like bubblies in my drinks. Not always a lot, but just some. I decided to add tonic to our woo-woo drink. And that's it. Woo-woo! Woo-woo!
Delicious. All right. So let's go ahead and start with talking about what happens to your body during sleep. So if you're lucky, you spend about a third of your life sleeping. And during that time, apparently there's not a ton known about what happens during sleep. We know what happens if you don't sleep, like all the sleep deprivation, all of those horrible consequences. But during sleep is a lot of theoretical. So they believe that your brain organizes things like memories and stuff like that. Your neurons are reconnecting, talking to each other. Your body is rebuilding, generating new tissue. Sleep is really important for learning, memory, creativity, and just getting rid of toxic waste. And toxic waste for the brain is like proteins. Proteins that would lead to Alzheimer's sort of thing. Yeah. So one of the symptoms of sleep deprivation is you're so tired you can't even think straight. And that is this accumulation of these proteins or free radicals that are bouncing around in your brain that your brain hasn't gotten rid of.
So that's really kind of scary to think about because sometimes you just can't sleep. I mean, I feel like I'm on this lovely pattern of really not feeling like I'm getting restful sleep. So to know that the consequences isn't just, oh, I'm going to be tired, or maybe my cortisol levels are going to be off, or I'm going to be cranky, or, whatever. It's kind of scary to know that the impact on the brain.
Mm-hmm. And the body as well.
Yes.
And so they did this study on these teenagers who were having a really hard time sleeping, and they weren't growing either. And then fixed their sleep problem, and all of a sudden they have this huge growth spurt. Mm. Well, it's not just during these growing periods as well, because our body is continuously replenishing itself.
Yeah.
So it's not just your brain, it's the whole thing. It helps with hormone levels later. So sleep deprivation and weight management are kind of an issue as well, because it releases this hormone that actually makes you kind of you choose shittier food.
Nice.
You've had shitty sleep because it's like a fix. You want this fix that you're not getting from sleep, that you should be getting from sleep. And so you're choosing donuts instead of chicken breast. And
yeah, no, that makes sense.
It's just this perpetuating cycle. So all of that to say, sleep matters.
Sleep matters.
Mm-hmm. So, how much sleep do you think you get every night?
I have been trying to get more sleep, so I've been going to bed a little bit earlier and maybe pressing snooze a few too many times in the morning. So it's not necessarily that I'm getting more sleep because it's really broken up. But I aim for 8 hours of sleep. I feel like I feel my best. I operate myself at my best if I get 10 hours of sleep, which feels kind of excessive. But that's I 10 hours of sleep and I'm like, wow, I actually feel pretty good when I wake up. Um like I'm not a good waker upper.
Me neither.
I'm
I'm not a morning person.
Mm-mm.
So, and I didn't really look into that, like morning people or night people. And I guess you can become a morning person, but I think you definitely have like a more natural tendency, and that changes as you get older.
Yeah.
Or like in the case of between us, I've always been a night person, and morning has always been hard. And I think that it's just getting more and more difficult the older I get. Quite honestly, I get up in the morning.
I don't get up well in the morning. I negotiate a lot of things in the morning before I get out of bed. Do I really need to do that? I can lay there for 10 more minutes and figure out what I'm going to wear because I didn't prepare the night before and figure that out. And that takes time and just kind of nixing all these things that, oh, I'm going to make myself a quick, healthy lunch to take to work. And then I'm like, man, I could probably just grab a couple snacks and call it good, or I'll buy something at work or,
I'll have a donut.
yeah.
And a vodka drink.
And a vodka drink. That'd be amazing. That's why I get cinnamon bears, because they don't sell vodka at work. It's frowned upon.
Really is.
It is. I mean, it's okay.
So there's some people who say that they're pretty good with like 5 hours of sleep, but adults should get at least 7 hours. And I would agree that I love 10 hours of sleep. Like I feel like a whole new person with 10 hours of sleep. And there's some research. I mean, research into women's bodies is all new anyway.
Yeah.
But there's some research that indicates that women need more sleep than men, which I think makes sense because a woman's brain is just like firing on all cylinders all day long, whereas men are more compartmentalized. And fuck, they can fall asleep like that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's stereotyping.
It's most people that I talk to, they say that their partners, whoever it may be, yeah, they fall asleep very quickly. But I also think with women needing more sleep, I even think about all that our bodies do. Yeah. Our bodies are incredibly more complex just in how they function than men's bodies. I mean, I know
where the level of like hormone fluctuations throughout.
That affects my sleep. My hormone cycle completely affects how I sleep. Completely. And it sucks, mostly. It mostly just sucks. I don't really know what cycle's the best.
So while we are sleeping, we are cycling through these different stages of sleep. There's rapid eye movement, or NREM, and there's 3 stages of that. The first one is light sleep. The second one is just getting into like you're starting to relax more, your body temperature is lowering, your heart rate is lowering. And then the third one is deep sleep, or delta sleep, where it would be really hard for you to wake up during that stage. And then the fourth one is the rapid eye movement. So that's when you're dreaming. And that's when like vivid dreams and your brain is like super, super active. Mm-hmm. And that's when like those synapses and the neurons are supposed to be like talking to each other and collecting information and all of those sorts of things. And then a new sleep cycle starts. So most people have like 4 or 5 sleep cycles a night.
That sounds nice.
Easiest to wake up during stage 1, and then of course in REM sleep. But yeah, 7 hours of sleep. That's our goal. So how does one accomplish that? For me, drugs.
2x4.
Yeah. I was having such a hard time sleeping, and it was affecting me physiologically and psychologically. And so I went and I now take sleeping pills. And the doctor gave me like this spectrum of, okay, I can give you this sleeping pill that you cannot take it and then go and brush your teeth, or you will knock yourself out on the counter. And I'm like, oh my God.
That's scary.
That sounds terrible. Like that would be so scary to me to be that comatose.
Yeah.
Or so I'm taking trazodone, and so I can definitely wake up, and sometimes it takes me a while to fall asleep still, and I still have some issues, but not even close to what I had before. So symptoms of insomnia. I'm going to look at my notes for this. They just kind of feel like what we've talked about.
Yeah.
And it's really, if you're noticing that it's impacting your day-to-day life, then it's time to go talk to a doctor.
What? I know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you have trouble falling asleep, for a healthy individual, it should take you about 15 to 20 minutes to fall asleep.
I mean, if I'm super, 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 super exhausted,
And then you
tired,
should stay asleep.
well, that sounds like a tall order. The staying asleep part is the hard part for me.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
If you're feeling cranky or depressed, if you're making errors throughout the day, if you are worried about the amount of sleep you're getting,
That's probably half my problem. Yeah. I worry a lot about the amount of sleep I'm getting. Like, probably I'm like hyper fixated on it because I'm so afraid of all the negative consequences that come with lack of sleep, that it creates its own whole set of additional sleep issues. Because now I'm worried about the fact that I don't get enough sleep. And now I know, yeah, it's a weird, vicious little cycle in my brain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if you're feeling like that, you should talk to a healthcare provider about some options for you. Because it does impact so many areas of your body, your mind, and just your overall well-being.
Yeah.
Okay. So we were looking up some things that we could do this month to try and get better sleep. And I came across this 10-3-2-1 rule. I did not do the 10-3-2-1 rule. I don't think I told you about the 10-3-2-1.
Was it the military one?
No.
Okay.
Okay, the 10-3-2-1 rule. You need to stop drinking all caffeine 10 hours before you go to sleep. So if you go to bed at 10, you have to not have any more caffeine after noon.
Oh, I think I'd probably be okay with that.
I feel like when I'm retired, absolutely. Right now, I feel like I need like a little pick-me-up around 2.
Yeah. It just takes me a long time to drink my cup of coffee once I get to work. That would be hard.
Yeah.
Because it does. I get there and our assistant manager makes the coffee and she makes a damn good pot of coffee. And then
there's something about having coffee made for you.
Yes. That's kind of my life. Yeah. Mostly coffee is made for me. I'm spoiled. I'm very spoiled that way.
Well, that's my life now. Because, Maddie makes a mean cup of coffee.
Mean cup of coffee.
Okay, 3 hours before bed. No alcohol and no food. And that's also hard when you work until, like, you get home around 5.
Yep.
And then there's things that you have to do. Like, if I'm going to work out or, like, even making dinner, it's hard to eat before 7.
So, perfect example. Exactly this. Healthy dinner, no alcohol, got off work, got my butt home, got changed, got my workout in. By the time I was done with my workout, I started making dinner before I even showered. And I'm just a sweaty human, so like I have to shower after a workout. And started making dinner. Dinner was going. I was making chicken and broccoli. Chicken in the air fryer, broccoli steamed. Simple dinner.
So healthy.
It was delicious. And by the time I was done with my workout, I had dinner going, I took my quick shower. We weren't eating until 7:45.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate that. I absolutely hate that. The last thing I want to do is be eating this food at 7:45, but I'm like, okay, I'm not going to eat and then work out. Yeah.
No, because then I won't be able to like wind down and go to sleep if I don't. I think what needs to happen is I just need to retire.
Yeah. Do you want me to write you a note?
Would you? Absolutely. Okay. And then you have to stop work. Stop thinking about work. Stop taking phone calls and texts from clients. 2 hours before work. And then no screens. Or I mean before sleep. And then no screens an hour before sleep.
What about reading on my Kindle?
That's the thing. Like most of my reading is on my Kindle. So I use blue light blocking glasses.
So I have a paperwhite.
Is that, I don't know what that means.
It's not like a regular screen, not like a iPad or phone screen.
It's not a regular screen.
It's not like a regular screen.
It's a cool screen.
It's a special screen. I don't know. I'd have to look, but I don't think it has the blue light like a cell phone screen, like reading your Kindle app on your cell phone would. So I might be safe with that.
Okay, but we didn't do that. So, we didn't. We did not do the 10, 3, 2, 1.
That sounds like a lot.
So everything that I looked at recommended getting your environment ready. So it should definitely be dark. It should be cool.
Mm-hmm.
You should try for a consistent bedtime and a consistent wake up time. Avoid caffeine and alcohol. Exercise so you're active during the day. Avoid napping, and I love napping. But other things said you can take a quick nap, like a good 20-minute nap. And so I went with that one because that's what I like to do.
I've heard 20 minutes are good because it doesn't reset your body clock.
Yeah.
Anything over 20 minutes resets your body clock, and your body clock's like, but didn't we just go to bed? But those 20 minutes, they're hard for me to wake up from. If I take a nap, I want more than 20. I want to reset.
You gotta be greedy about it. I take a 20-minute nap. And then have some sort of habit, something that you do to just wind down before bed. Okay. So, do you want to go first? What did you do?
Okay, mine was pretty basic compared to you.
I did basic. I started off with like, I'm going to do this and this and this and this and this and this and also this. And Rihanna was like, holy shit. So that sounds like a lot of work.
Well, if you watched our previous podcast, you know that we've talked about spoons, like using spoons. And when she told me all the things she was doing, I was like, oh, that's a lot of spoons.
I don't have enough spoons to get up in the morning.
I know. I'm like, I borrowed from last year to make this happen. So, but that makes me feel a little bit better. So I kind of went into it like a experiment with the control and the one thing change, that sort of thing as best as I could, because I still firmly believe that my hormone cycle also deeply affects my sleep cycles. Mm-hmm. So can't control that though. Turns out that's just a thing that I got to fucking move through. So week 1, I decided, you know how they talk about writing everything down? Well, I can't write everything down.
Like to
break up.
Yeah. Because a lot of times I can't fall asleep because I cannot shut my brain off.
Yes.
I can't.
I don't have the time or energy to brain dump at that time of night, because at that time of night, it's my time. My time. So
nighttime is my time.
Nighttime is the right time. So week 1, I decided I was going to do a quick journal prompt. I thought that would be really good. A journal prompt reflecting on the day, just something very, very short, sweet, to the point. Write it down, get it out, and close it, and then continue with sleep, hopefully. So I did that. And then I also consistently diffused essential oils every night. That was one thing that I just did
That was something on my list that I did not do. I forgot about it.
Yeah, I don't know if it helped. So week 1, did my journaling, did diffusing essential oils. Those were the strict changes. And really, I just continued to sleep like shit. Slept like shit. So week 2, I decided to do magnesium spray on my feet. You hear about magnesium on your legs if you have restless legs. Sometimes my legs get a little kicky, but I don't. It could just be my husband snoring. I don't know. But sometimes I'm
it's a defense mechanism.
I don't know why sometimes I do. Sometimes I call it the death shake. Like, because I'm like falling asleep and all of a sudden my whole body has this violent shake and I'm like, okay, I'm not dead. I was just going to sleep. Calm down.
I do that if I dream that I've fallen or I've dreamt that I've been kicked.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh.
You probably weren't dreaming it, Sam. Your husband probably kicked you.
Yeah. Or we were on a trip and you kicked me.
I may have.
You kicked me. Bobby's sleeping on my pillow. I'm just trying to survive.
It's like, I'm in survival mode. Usually I'm like curled up on the side of the bed because the last thing I want to do is disturb anybody. The funny thing is with my husband, I take the whole bed and he just has this little piece.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm kind of an asshole. So week 2, magnesium spray on my feet. Boom. Still diffusing, ditched the fucking journaling because no. And thought, okay, let's try this. Kind of continued to sleep like continued shit. There was nothing. Plus, this could be just what I was experiencing in my life during that week, or it could, I don't know. But also waking up with panic attacks in the middle of the night where I laid there and your heart's like goom, 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 going out of your chest. And I'm like, just calm down. It's okay. Everything's going to be okay. A lot of it stemmed around my daughter getting married, not because I don't want her to get married, just the logistics of the wedding and the reception and everything, and like trying to talk myself through that and doing the breathing techniques that I know and blah, 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 blah. Slept like continued shit. So week 3, I buy into a gimmick.
Love a good gimmick.
I love a good gimmick. It was kind of fucking expensive. My husband was less impressed with it than I was. I was so excited. Honey, look what came. And he's like, what is that? I'm like, it's a grounding mat. And he's like, what the fuck? What is a grounding mat? I'm like, well, it has these silver fibers that run through it, and then it plugs in, and you plug it into the grounding port of your plug-in in your wall, and then it's supposed to be like when you go outside and you stand on the earth and you ground, except you do it when you sleep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, something about like the frequencies, the electric frequencies. I don't really. It's a gimmick.
It's the same as the ground.
Something like that. It's a gimmick.
And did the gimmick work? Because who fucking cares?
I don't know.
If it's a gimmick,
I know.
If it works,
is it a placebo effect? Is it real? Is it just I finally hit the sweet spot of my cycle? I don't know, but I will admit this. The last couple nights, I feel like I slept better. I woke up less in the middle of the night. I didn't necessarily, according to my watch, if you have an Apple Watch or any type of sleep tracker, that sort of thing, that's the other thing. I'm like, don't obsess over that. Go how you feel. According to my watch, I did not get more deep sleep. My rapid eye movement, the REM sleep fucking sucks. I don't care what's happening. I'd like it to shut up. It's so exhausting. I feel like I don't do that all night, according to my sleep tracker, but my brain,
it's too active.
I'm like, just fucking go to sleep.
Calm down. Okay, so I have to tell you, and I know that you've heard this before, but maybe you'll hear it with our tens of viewers. That's what was happening to me. I was having such vivid dreams.
Ugh.
Like one of the times I dreamt, I had really horrific dreams. The one that wasn't as horrific, but still like, holy shit.
On a scale.
Yeah. I dreamt that all my bones were out of my body. They were all gone. And I woke up and I'm like trying to find my bones in my bed. And I'm awake. And I'm like, well, I need bones.
They're important. Like
how am I going to get them back in my body? And I'm still, like, I'm awake at this point. Mm-hmm. Like, my alarm has gone off. And they're like, it was so realistic.
Yeah. That's me.
And another dream, I dreamt that I had posted naked pictures of myself on social media. I was trying to get them off, and I couldn't get the pictures off social media.
You were trying to get the pictures off?
And it was awful. And I woke up, and I was like, this is okay. Life is going to be different now.
I'm fired.
Because I now have naked pictures of myself online. And I'm like brushing my teeth thinking, okay, people are going to treat me differently. Like, this is going to be different. And then I thought for a second, I'm like, I don't even have any naked pictures of myself.
Problem solved. Don't know who those pictures were of, but they're not of me.
It can't have been real.
Yeah.
But it felt so real. And those were some of the tamer dreams. The other ones were just like, oh my God, it was like a horror movie that I was in.
Yes.
And the trazodone helped calm that. So I do not have those dreams anymore where I am in it.
Yeah.
I do not have those where I wake up and I'm brushing my teeth and I'm like,
oh, here we go.
Oh,
I feel like
turns out I can still be employed. No naked pictures today.
No naked ones. I feel like my dreams are not usually about, I'm not usually present. They're usually,
I have ones where it's like a movie.
Yeah, it's usually, I told you about last night's dream. It was very odd. So I usually, like, when I wake up, unless it's a nightmare, which sometimes I have those, but usually my don't sleep well night to night dreams are just exhausting. I had a dream, this one did involve me, and my counselor looked at me and went, huh. But I had a dream where I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover, not a fighter. I don't beat people up. But in this dream, I fucking did. I shoved this asshole to the ground and I continued to punch them into the face, and like blood was sprayed. It was disgusting. It was a very vivid dream. And it was an interesting session that time. But it was very interesting. Like, my husband, if I remember correct, because sometimes I have weird dreams where like I scream, he had to wake me up.
Oh.
Because he was like, I was shaking because I was fucking
fighting for your life.
I'm punching the shit out of something. Well, they weren't fighting back. I was just killing them. I was violently punching them in the face. But it was so vivid and it's exhausting.
Yeah.
I feel like those really exhaust me. Now, the grounding mat, don't know. I'll keep using it. And because, like I said, cycles.
If it works, it works.
It works. But I want to keep testing it and see.
How many days have you used it?
Just this week. So it's been 7 days.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah. And I'm going to continue, and I'm going to kind of see with my cycles, because it could also just be that I'm in a good place with my cycle. As good as it's going to get. But I'm going to keep trying it, and I'll let you guys know. Okay. So what about you? You did not do all the spoons.
I chose hardly any spoons. And I'm like, man, it's so hard to start a habit. But then I was thinking, I have all these fucking horrible habits that I have no problem doing. Why can't I have some good habits?
Good habits aren't as fun. They don't taste as good.
Because I'm too fun to have good habits. So I just started doing like a nightly routine. So just to let my body know, hey body, this is happening. We're going to sleep. Get your shit together and calm down. So I would
calmly get your shit together.
I would take either a hot bath or a hot shower because I'm always cold. So it's important for me to be warm. Like, I know it says a cool environment, but I don't think like a shivery environment.
You know, I remember reading somewhere, probably on Instagram on a scroll day, where it actually says, like, during the winter, you should, I'll say this quietly so your husband doesn't hear. Okay. You should actually open the window to let cool air in, because your room should be like cool. So when you get under the blankets, it's nice and warm and your outer environment is cool. But here's my thing. Who wants to fucking walk through a cold as fuck room to get under the blankies? Nobody does. You want just a comfortable room and then you get under the blankies. Okay, that's my 2 cents. Sorry.
Okay. And then something that I did add was stretching. So I would do,
yes.
and I would be like, oh my God, 10 minutes of stretching. I just want to get into bed. But I would do it pretty consistently. I think of this whole month, I think I've only missed like 1 or 2 nights total. And it typically turned into like 15 or 20 minutes of stretching. Because once I'm stretching, I'm stretching.
So quick little segue, which is something that you guys will find to our tens of viewers. We're doing a book read club sort of business. Was that your habit that you chose?
It was.
Okay.
The Atomic Habit.
So that was mine as well. So I gave myself, because I'm not an overachiever. I'm not even an achiever, really. I know I am an achiever because I achieved this. It was a realistic goal. I set mine for 5 minutes of stretching or more per night. So, okay, that's very cool.
So I did some stretching, which is almost like meditative too. I mean, it really is. And then I took my sleeping pill, which is not new. I always do that.
It's a routine.
My sleeping pill as well as my antidepressant. And then I read with light blocking glasses. And if people text me or like I get the notifications through my watch, but I ignore them. So I know I can turn it on sleep, but I also want to check and make sure that it's not my daughter.
No, I'm going to show you how to make sure that your daughter will come through, but others
only if she does it twice.
Nope. I'll show you.
Dang. Okay. So, yes. So I did that. So I ignore text after a certain time and I don't even feel badly about it. I'm like, oh, I don't need to know. And then, if I can't fall asleep within 30 minutes, knowing that a healthy person falls asleep between 15 or 20, after 30 minutes, I have this app called Breathe, BREETHE.
If you're listening, at Breathe.
At Breathe.
At Breathe.
And it, I think it was like $90 a year, which I was like, oh, fuck. But I bought it when I was like desperate and on sleeping pills. So I'm like, I don't even care. Purchase. And I've really liked it. So I either do a sleeping story, which I love the sleeping stories. I have no idea what's happening in the story at all. I have no idea. I couldn't tell you one thing about it, except one takes place in Thailand.
That's the one you said that was like amazing, and you were asleep with a smile on your face in like 30 seconds.
Because it's called the Land of Smiles.
Oh.
And it happens in Thailand, and that's all I know about it, and that's all I need to know.
Yeah.
Because I'm out. Or I'll do like a hypnotherapy, or it has AI where I'll just say or type into this app and say, it's been a really stressful day. I keep thinking about this client who's struggling. I can't turn my brain off. And it creates a hypnotherapy for me to like help me focus. And I love it. So I do that, and it has not failed me once.
So you also, because I know you, turns out, you also have an eye mask that you sleep with, and in your eye mask has the headphones. So you've got dark and just that quiet.
Right. Well, my husband watches TV, and so like those flashing lights are not good for me. Yeah. And instead of murder, I chose an eye mask.
That's what it says in the obituary. Died because he watched TV in fucking bed.
So I chose an eye mask instead of violence. And it's worked out really well. Like and I love the one with the headphones as well. Especially if he's eating something anywhere in the same city that I live in.
Sometimes
while I'm trying to sleep. So that's actually worked pretty well. I have pretty good deep sleep, but I do not stay asleep. And so I was using my Apple Watch and I was showing Rihanna, oh my gosh, look at this, look at this. And a lot of it turns out was delusion because
she was so tired.
Well, because I was choosing the one that was way down and not very sensitive. And when I chose the calibration that was up where it was actually happening, I'm like, but still, I think pretty good deep sleep. So overall, I did, the only thing new that I added to the routine that I had already was stretching. And I set a very clear, like, okay, I'm not sleeping, I'm not sleeping, I'm not sleeping. I'm not going to continue to worry about it and stress about it and freak out about not being able to sleep. I'm going to move to solution and listen to a sleep story or hypnotherapy. I didn't pay $90 for nothing.
Yeah. I tried the various things. I'm going to keep with the grounding mat, gimmick or not. I don't know. I'm going to see if it works outside of my knowing that my sleep cycle is affected by my hormone cycle and just kind of see maybe there's something to it. I don't know. If it works and it's a placebo, I don't give a fuck. If I'm sleeping, I'm sleeping.
If it works, it works.
So one thing that I have noticed, and you and I have talked about this, is the fact that on days where we don't have to go to work the next morning, we both sleep so much better. Even if I wake up at the same time that my alarm clock would be waking me up, I sleep better. I wake better. I sleep better across the board. So the answer is retirement.
A toast to sleeping like we're already retired.
Yes. Dilly dilly.